Hey there, welcome to this week's Grow Log. So, here is the sunflower bucket project. Here we have, I believe, 7 10-foot sunflowers, and then over here we have 6 16-foot flowers. So, they have mostly sprouted, and I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get to full bloom, but we're going to try anyway. These are our ducks, they're new, and there's a little leaf popping up on the elephant ear. Here's the white morning glory at the entrance. Here is the white and purple morning glory on the other side. And we are now 1 inch from the top. Very exciting. The potatoes are wild. We have purple flowers, we have white flowers, we had pink flowers. They're just going crazy. There's a cabbage moth. Woohoo! The corn bed is looking ratty. Not nearly as great as last year. I tried to direct sow this year and we had issues with critters. So this is the Japonica Black. And here is the other potato bed. And womp womp, the sweet corn, of which we have 4 plants. So that's that. Ray and Priscilla's peppers and squashes are coming right along. There's some very huge leaves over here. I'm not sure what this guy is, but he's big. Here is my butternut squash. He didn't want to climb, so I tied him up, but he's about 1 foot tall now. The watermelon has started to climb. This is the mystery melons from my mother-in-law, that seed she got from a melon from a farmer next door. He was looking very, very sorry for a really long time, but he's climbing now and I'm excited. This is Ray and Priscilla's tomato bed. It is totally crazy. They are coming this weekend and hopefully going to stake some more of them up and do some pruning. I don't know how this is going to go because they are really close together. I had said with the square footage of this bed they could put 50 plants in it, but that was not necessarily tomatoes, and it might be my fault. So I'm going to do my best to help them keep these guys healthy. But honestly, with no trimming, bad airflow, and no maintenance, they're looking pretty good. So it is what it is. Good for them. I think this is my biggest marigold. Here is the triple crop tomato. I'm really excited about this. He's got some flowers going now. These guys are supposed to not only climb, but put off a massive amount of fruit, so we'll see what happens. Here's some nasturtiums underneath. This is the giant mixed morning glories. There's like 15 or 20 plants here. A lot of side shoots coming off. The white powder is Captain Jack's dead bug. It's an organic pesticide. Here's the Grandpa Ott. This thing had 6 flowers on it yesterday. I should have filmed it. Here's that little tiny pink picotee, and actually this is the blue picotee. And the Thunbergia next to it started to grow into the tomato. So they're going to share a string because it'll be real easy to tell the seed pods apart, and the picotee is sure taking its time. This is the pink morning glory. This one also had like 5 flowers on it once yesterday. Here's the cypress vine. He has gotten all the way up here. The Kiwano melon is growing, but it's not climbing. I'm just going to let it ramble and see what it does. That does, I believe, at this point, dash my dreams of having pergola covered in Kiwano. But so much for my 100-foot vines. And I'm just going to let it do its thing. It's whatever. Hey, George. This is one of the Japanese Imperial Mix flowers, morning glories, and it does seem to be still alive. It's not climbing yet, but we'll see what happens. This is the moonflower vine. It's about as tall as me. I'm 5'3", and still no flowers. I tend to have issues getting these to flower, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. It's time to move our marker. Yay! Here's one of my inverted peppers. Here's another one. This is the pepper in a can. Here's another pepper right side up, and another pepper upside down. Chamomile is super happy. So is other chamomile. This one over here is a bit shrimpy, but he's there. He's got flowers. We're happy. This in the pot is the African sunset thunbergia. He has climbed up over his little post, and I'm going to run a runner for him soon, and probably the other thunbergia as well. Here are the white morning glories at the entrance to the boho. Still no flowers, but they are very healthy. I got a new kind of poppy today. Out of the California poppies, I had only gotten the very yellow, these guys. Now we have this beautiful yellow-orange one with the orange center, and I love it. Herb bed is doing well. I got a first harvest out of here for some vegetable fritters the other day. It was amazing. The anise is falling over. He needs a stake. The sage has recovered and is doing really well. Also the lemon thyme. Hey! I got off track, so let's go backwards. This row is bush beans. This is my strawberry crown squash that gave me all that trouble. He has returned and is looking super good, and I'm very happy about that. This is a Pennsylvania Candice tomato. These are 2 blue Hubbard squashes. These also gave me a lot of trouble. This is my 3rd planting, and I'm hoping this is going to be the one. There's some cucumbers going over here. This is the honeycomb tomato, and 2 multicolored cherry tomatoes, which need stakes apparently very bad, so we'll work on that. This is the yellow pear tomato. That is a yellow cherry. Cosmos are doing pretty well. This is my spaghetti squash. This is definitely the biggest, most successful thing I've had so far this season. It's also the thing I've had to fight the hardest to protect. We had an all-out onslaught invasion of cucumber beetles, and I've been using that Captain Jack's, and so far it's still alive. So, and flourishing, I might even say. I have a couple of fruits. Where's the other one? Oh, so there's my first one. It looks like the pollination didn't take. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. Well, we have this one right here, which I hand pollinated yesterday. And there's a lot more females on here. There's one here, one here. It's really hard to film in the direct sun. There's another one up there. Anyway, that's my spaghetti squash. He's about 1.5 feet away from the top of the trellis. This is asparagus. You know what? Instead of using my little fat finger, we're gonna do this. This is asparagus. These are sweet potato slips I haven't planted yet. This is a big old weed. This pot is horseradish. This is the painted lady tomato. She's about 3 feet tall now. I also have other baby painted ladies right here and right here. This is my datura. This is a large morning glory bush. It's also known as devil's trumpet, and it's highly poisonous, so trying to be careful with it, but I have plans for these guys. This is a red currant tomato that has recently become attacked by a beetle of some sort that's giving very small holes, like into a flea beetle, but I don't know if flea beetles eat tomatoes, but that's what the white stuff is. He's still alive. This is the Black Beauty tomato. There's 2 of them. This is a small, little bit bigger than a cherry, but a yellow tomato. This was a transplant I bought. This is the Sart Rolloways tomato. He struggled real bad for a while, but he seems to be making a comeback. More cucumbers here. That in the corner is a bee balm. So it was a little clay ball I bought on Etsy. I think I bought 8 of them. And they produce pollinator attracting flowers. And there's another one here and another one down there. So that's pretty much everything in the new beds. So let's go into Oldie Garden. I say old, but it literally was built last year. Here we have a Pennsylvania Candice tomato. Here are 2 yellow Kokona tomatoes. And this is another red currant tomato. So let's go over to the greens. This is arugula, which is doing great. This is Bib Butterhead lettuce. This one is red romaine. This is prize head lettuce. Something ate most of these 2 rows. Apparently they don't like these as well, and they certainly won't touch arugula or mustards. So that's the greens. Gonna have to re-sow. I also had a row of black-seeded Simpson lettuce here. This is the only one that's left. This bed is zucchinis. We have 49er yellow over here. I don't remember what this one was. Then we have 2 basic yellow squashes. And in the back, that is a Pennsylvania Candice tomato. These guys are getting some fruit. There's 2 females on there, and there's like 4 females on this one. So wish me luck. Here we have the giant mixed morning glories. Very healthy, very tall, no flowers yet, but that's okay. I can tell absolutely by this plant that it's going to be full. We got all those side shoots. I'm going to have to start training this real soon. This is a Japanese chocolate morning glory that I got on Etsy. It's doing very well. It's just about to the top. Super happy with him. This plant, this plant, this plant, this plant, and this plant are all from the Imperial Mix morning glories. They struggled real bad. A couple of them seem to be coming back. This one actually got a flower on it already. I don't know if you can see that back there, but I missed it. So I haven't posted it yet, but we'll see how he does. Also, this flower does not look like any of the flowers that were on the label, so we'll see what happens. These are mystery peppers. This was from a mix. This was one of the seeds that was red, and these 2 were blue, so we'll just see what they produce. These 3 here are shishito peppers. These 3 here are habaneros. This is a bought tomato plant that belongs to Ray. This is a cayenne pepper. So this tomato, and this tomato are San Marzanos. This tomato is aroma. These are some eggplants. Here's 2 different types of tomato that are supposed to be disease resistant. We were testing this bed for disease, so we kept it easy with the tomatoes. Last year I had this whole panel just absolutely covered with tomatoes, and we only put a few in this year just to make sure. So I gave it over to the morning glories and the new varieties that I got this year, and we're just seeing what's happening. So far the tomatoes are happy and pretty good, so I'm leaning away from disease and more towards I didn't know what I was doing. 2 more eggplants, another disease-resistant tomato, and it looks like a failed okra. I forgot about the okra. Okay, so right here is an okra, right here is an okra, right here is an okra. These are decorative okras to come up between the morning glories, but about half of them didn't make it, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Here's another okra here. We'll see what happens. It's definitely not going to be even, I can tell you that right now. This actually appears to be a dying squash, so we'll see what he does. Just for the record, if you look at this squash, that's what this strawberry crown looked like from June 1st on. So only in the last week and a half has it started to look alive. So based on what this one has done, I have great hope for this guy, so we'll let him do what he's going to do. This is the peas, and I give up. Here we have some bolted kohlrabis, a couple more tomatoes, lots and lots of broccoli. Down in there you can see my purple kohlrabi, more broccolis. These are the ground cherries. There's a tomato back there, I can't remember which one it is. Next to that we have a muscadine grape and a purple cabbage. This ground cherry grew flat along the ground like a ground cover, and it was the weirdest thing. So I've just recently staked it up, and hopefully it's going to start growing like it's supposed to. I got to eat my first ground cherry the other day, and it was super duper exciting. This is a row of cabbage. This is a row of broccoli and another cabbage. And that brings us to the end of our tour at Pot Island. So here we have some flowering cilantro, which I only grow for the seeds, which are coriander, which, you know, use as a spice. So this can bolt all at once, and it's only going to make me happier. These are amaranth. Here's some onion. I believe this is bee balm. We have spearmint, lemon mint, catnip, peppermint. Of course, we still have the giant cornflower over here. I started deadheading this to keep the seeds. And then here is the bee balm. I also put some tarragon in here. I have no sprouts. This row right here is rainbow Swiss chard. And right here we have some fennel. So that's everything in the garden and all of its progress for the week. Thanks for joining me. Peace out.